All right, Coach, thanks for joining us. The floor is yours.
Okay, hard-fought win for sure here. I thought we played really well in stretches. Give Minnesota credit. Marcus Carr was a load there late. We did a couple critical things to help the cause, but they also made a lot of shots and were scoring it quick. So a good win for our guys. Proud of them. Time to move on here.
All right, we're going to try to get to everybody here. So let's remember just one question. We'll move on. I'll start with Spencer Holbrook and Brendan Gulick on deck. Spencer.
Chris, how much different does a 1-point win feel in tournament play than it would in a regular season? Would you be angrier in the regular season than you are to just survive in a tournament setting like this, or how does that work for you guys moving forward?
4-point. You say 1 point or 4 point?
4-point win, yeah. How much different does it feel down the stretch like that to just survive in a Big Ten tournament game than it would in a regular season game?
Yeah, no, it's a good question. I think when you watch as much college basketball as I have, I mean, I saw, what was it? Illinois was way up on Wisconsin there a couple weeks ago, and Trice went off there late, cut it to a 1 or 2 possession game. You got really good guards, dynamic guards, can make some plays. Again, we've got to do some things better, but I give those guys credit. So we're not giving this one back by any stretch. I'm proud of our guys. I'm proud of EJ for knocking those free throws down late. You're going to miss some free throws. We missed a couple critical ones, but no, I feel good about being able to survive and advance and move forward.
All right, next up, Brendan Gulick with Griffin Strom on deck. Brendan.
Chris, congratulations on the win. I'm sure you'll be asked quite a bit about your starters, but I want to ask you about Musa Jallow. This might have been his most efficient game of the year. He seemed to come up in big moments on both ends of the floor. What did you like in particular about the way he played tonight?
I thought he was terrific. He just played his role at a really high level. I thought he was terrific. Was active defensively, got to where he needed to. I thought he was really, really good. And we needed his defense. We needed his activity, especially with Kyle's 2 fouls.
Griffin Strom next up with Patrick Murphy on deck. Griffin.
Hey, Coach, how big was it for your guys' confidence and the confidence of some of your other players outside of EJ and Dwayne to have such a well-balanced offensive attack today with 5 guys in double figures, with Kyle and Musa obviously stepping up and having their best games in quite some time?
Yeah, that was good to see. That was really good to see those guys. CJ Walker asked to come off the bench a couple of days ago, and I told him, hey, it's your team, senior. So if that's what you'd like to do, absolutely, we'll do that. But I was good to see. I thought he gave us some really critical plays there. The one where he should have probably pulled it out there late. He'll learn from that. But I thought he was really good and really helped us.
Go ahead, Patrick.
Chris, just looking ahead to tomorrow, Purdue is a team that obviously got you guys twice this year. CJ mentioned that without even being prompted. How much is that kind of in guys' minds as you get to play them tomorrow?
Yeah, I think you're always aware of it. It's always something that you're aware of. I think they're the only team to sweep us, this year. It was a couple close games, particularly the one at our place where their freshman Ivy made a great play. It's going to be a physical game as it always is. Travion's a tremendous player, as is their big fellow. So should be a great challenge for us here tomorrow.
All right. Next up, Stephen Means with Steve Hellwagon on deck. Stephen.
Coach, were you a little frustrated out of what was happening that last 98 seconds when it just seemed like your team couldn't execute as much?
No. I mean, that's, again, I've watched enough college basketball to know that, players aren't perfect, and they made some plays. We missed a couple free throws. We had a critical offensive foul there, but we also, CJ did a great job calling a timeout in a corner situation. EJ did a great job executing a baseline situation where he got fouled. So no, it's part of us, part of the learning experience. And, there's a couple things we can do better, but they also made some tough shots.
Next up, Steve Hellwagon with Shane and Ryan on deck. Steve.
Yeah, Coach, seemed like for the longest time you guys were doing a good job with Carr. It seemed like you were running a second defender at him to get the ball out of his hands. what was the thought at the first 37 minutes, I guess, when you only had 12 points through the first 37 and then the rest at the end. Just what were you guys doing with him?
They put him in space, Steve, and didn't bring a ball screen as much in the last couple minutes. And then he just, they just, late, they were just down. They got nothing to lose, and they're just playing. And they threw in some tough shots, but they didn't bring another defender as much. I thought we really executed well defensively in the last couple possessions against him. The foul up 3, as well as some of the denials where we just were trying to keep the ball out of his hands. I thought our execution defensively, again, offensively, we had a couple poor possessions there late, but defensively, I thought it was really good for the most part there late.
All right, next up, Shannon Ryan with Clay Hall on deck. Shannon.
Yeah, thanks. My question is more tournament related. I'm just curious, we saw earlier Duke had to pull out of their conference tournament. I think that prospect of COVID really wrecking us end of season here is on people's minds. And I'm just curious, does that weigh on your mind? Is it a concern? And do you try to block that out, or how do you deal with that? And how do you deal with that with players?
No, Shannon, yeah, it's definitely a concern. Definitely gets a concern. I think the reality is you're trying to do everything you can to mitigate risk. Our guys have done a great job of that. But as I've told a lot of these guys from our local media, we've not been hit with COVID much. So that does probably leave you a little more susceptible here later in the year. So we just have to make sure we're following every protocol.
All right, last 3 for Coach here. We'll go with Clay Hall, Colin Hass-Hill on deck. Clay.
Hey, Coach. First win since February 18th. Was it relief, jubilation to sort of get off the snide and get this thing back in the right direction?
Yeah, I think so, Clay. I think guys were excited. You could tell a little bit late there where, they made a run, not late, but in the middle of the second half and cut it. We knew Minnesota was a tough team and a tough but I think as much as anything, yeah, guys were excited. Guys were excited about, disappointed in a couple of the plays they made there late, but they also recognized Carr made some really tough plays. So I think there was a combination of both, probably excitement. I didn't want them to. I want them to enjoy this. These are college basketball players. It's not life and death, and sometimes you can feel like that a little bit when you've lost a couple. But I was really proud of them today here, and we'll see how we respond tomorrow.
We'll go with Colin Hass-Hill and finish up with Adam Jardy. Colin.
Chris, I think you had 44 points in the paint today. How much of that was a priority in this specific matchup, and what can you really take from that part of the performance and apply it to the Nets game, given your challenges from inside the arc offensively against Purdue this season?
Yeah, Purdue plays you a little differently defensively, Colin, than Minnesota, but both teams can make it difficult for you. I do think we were really intentional about playing through the paint, and even turning down some threes at times. It's obviously a different arena, a different building. So I think we wanted to. Our guys really, really followed our offensive game plan. I mean, they were terrific at being intentional about getting what we want. Sometimes we missed a couple, honestly, but I thought guys were terrific with that.
And our last questions will come from Adam Jardy. Adam.
Chris, after you guys got off to the 13-0 start, you had started turning the ball over a couple of times there, and I know it's not a team that necessarily turns teams over at a super high percentage. What was the challenge there, and did you feel like that was maybe a missed opportunity where you could have given yourself a little more breathing room?
I thought we turned it over just too much today, Adam. But they also do that in league play. Their numbers, it's really the best thing they do in league play. We contributed with it with some. We had sometimes just a couple sloppy plays, a couple plays that just balls dropped through our hands. But no question, we have to be better. We can't have 15 turnovers and expect to win tomorrow. There's no question.
And
maybe one or two more, if there's one or two more.
If I could follow, since I'm still unmuted, but just to get off to that start? Given that you guys did have that losing streak coming in, to come out up 13-0, get some dunks like that, it seemed like that you needed something like that to maybe get things going. How important was that?
Well, we did need it, Adam. We did need it, but I think I said to you guys a couple of days ago that our guys, the spirit of our guys has been really good. I did not sense that they were still feeling the effects of losing 4. I didn't sense that in practice. Hopefully I would tell you, or wouldn't be as positive if I did feel that. So I think they recognize that this is a new opportunity, and they also recognize that they had some really good stretches of play. Just like today, we had some good stretches of play to get up 14. And then we had some errors that we have to clean up. So I do think that gave us some life and some energy, just the way our guys opened the game. But they've had a great mindset going into it.